Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, in the previous video I have explained to you the research that is being done on the nature of consciousness by Sir Roger Penrose as well as Stroud Hameroff and a lot of their other researchers on consciousness, which they have their annual conferences all over the world, and you can follow them through their publication as well as their videos. What is important is that if we look from the perspective of Islamic framework for psychology as well as positive Islamic cognitive behavior therapy, I'm just proposing a model or a framework which strike me as something that is very useful for us, and it can be very powerful if we can understand this area. Because in the previous video I've explained to you how the nafs, the self, the being is linked together. That means our jasad is linked to the mind, linked to the qalb, linked to the roh, and our being is being approached from three levels. That is the levels of coherence, synergy and integration. And this coherence can be at the level of the self, the family, the community, global, and you can add one more level, the universe. Okay, so we are looking at the fullness of our existence, not only from the physical state, but also the mind, the heart, and the roh. All right, and I've explained to you these three levels of what we mean by coherence, all right, and then synergy and integration. Because you must understand this. Because if we want to develop the model, we must be able to understand first what we mean by coherence. All right, so if we take the definition of coherence, for example, at the lowest level is coherence. So for example, if we want to talk about the brain, there must be a brain-body coherence. What is coherence at this level? Brain plus mind, or brain plus body. That means it is body, the physical body, the physical body plus brain plus mind, they are in coherence. Coherence in the sense that the situation where parts of something fit together in a natural or reasonable way. There was no coherence between the first and the second. If there is no coherence, then there will be a dissonance. All right. So scientists is always looking for coherence in their work, whether it's data or whether it is experiment to support the hypothesis. Coherence is a state or situation in which all parts or ideas fit together well so that they form a united whole. So this is where we talk about coherence, and this is the lowest level. That means we must have coherence within our parts. That means we know our physical body. If our lung don't function, is not processing, all right, the oxygenation of our blood cell, we will die. If our heart don't function, it stops, we also will die. If our kidney don't function to do the purification processes, we also will die. So there is this coherence of every single 100 billion physical cells and maybe 100 billion more than that neuron cells working together in what? In coherence. Then we have what we call health, good health. So this is at the lowest level. So at this lowest level, this coherence. So we must understand this coherence, because if we split and separate ourselves in different areas, we will never get the complete whole. That's why the approach to medicine today, where we separate parts, you become a heart specialist, you become a ear, nose and throat specialist, you become so many specialization, that where is the united whole? Because you are treating this whole body, which is the physical body, the brain, the mind, and so on. So if we just say that we accept that it's this both physical body, brain and mind, how can you see the coherence of all this together? Because you're only looking at one small part of the big picture. So coherence is very important, especially from the perspective of holistic sciences. And Islam is a holistic way of life. It's a coherent way of life. Because if you understand that, then you would know how this work. For example, I can explain to you. If we look at the idea of cognitive dissonance, all right, if we have cognitive dissonance, what you do or think or believe, and what is there's a gap, all right, between what you do. That means what is your belief and what you do. All right, there's a gap. So your belief say you want to do good, but your do is you're doing evil. So that is what cognitive dissonance. Dissonance. So this will create a problem. And what is this problem? These are the psychological problems that we will face at the mind and brain level, or as well as a spiritual level. But if we can have coherence, that means what you believe and what you do, this is belief, and what you do is together, it is inside. All right, then you have coherence. So this is the idea of coherence within Islamic psychology that I'm trying to use as a first base. That means the first base is always coherence. That means you have all your parts together. How are you going to make the parts work together so that they become of the fullness of your being, yourself? That means your aspect of the physical, aspect of the conscious and subconscious mind, aspect of the heart, the intuitive heart, aspect of the raw, are put together. Because those are your realities. Those are what is endowed to you as your very nature of your existence on this earth. All right, so that the first basis is coherence, and if you look at coherence, it will be at this level. Okay, we talk about this level, and coherence also can come at this level. Okay, so this is a concept of coherence. The second level is synergy. What do you mean by synergy? Because when we have coherence, there must also be synergy. So what is the definition of synergy? Synergy, the interaction or cooperation of two more parts, organization or substance or agent or to produce a combined effect greater than the sum of the separate part. That means if we synergize, we have, it's not 1 + 1 = 2, we have 1 + 1 = 10. The whole idea of synergistic approach. That means if we can understand, that means how we're going to look at our brain. If we just accept the brain as the only thing that we have, then we are not synergizing with our mind. We are not synergizing with our, that means the subconscious, the unconscious mind. So how are we going to get a better result in terms of creativity, in terms of productivity, in terms of stability in life, in terms of freedom from fear, freedom from phobia, and so many other things. So this aspect is synergy, and synergy is working at the second level. Okay, so I hope you understand. And then once we have understand coherence, we have understand synergy, we must have integration. So what is integration? Combine two or more things in order to become more effective. You need to integrate all the things in your life to lead a normal life. That means, for example, you have to integrate your lifestyle. You have to have your exercises, your nutrition, your food, just to keep your physical body healthy. Then you have to keep your mental self healthy. What other you have to do, for example, muhasabah, murakabah, you have to do meditation, you have to do so many other things, which brings you to a level of integrating that as part of your physical lifestyle. All right, so the idea is, for example, the coordination of mental processes into the normal effective personality with or on the environment, and also, for example, integration is the process of getting people from all diverse backgrounds to live and work together as a united human being, as a united being, rather than separately. So these are some definition of integration, but from the perspective of our sense of integration, that means At the highest level, we integrate every aspect of our existence. That means our brain, all right, our heart, our roh, our physical self, they're all integrated. So this is the highest level we are working, and integration covers everything. So there are 3 levels that I'm trying to propose as a framework for Islamic psychology and positive Islamic cognitive behavior therapy. Even at therapeutic level, are we working at a coherence level? Are we working at a coherence and synergy level? Or are we working at integration level? If we can use just one word, integration, and covers everything. But it is a subtle development of a framework that we can progressively develop, because here also we are progressively developed. So there are 3 levels: nafsul ammara, nafsul lawama, and nafsul mutmainnah, and we have coherence, synergy, integration. This is inshallah my proposal of how I'm trying to develop this framework. And if some of you can integrate this into your idea of Islamic psychology, or your idea of for example developing the ummah, or developing being achievers in life, developing theory of motivation, even how to develop this at the level of the child. How we're going to have achievers, young children who are good Muslimin and Muslimah, and they are achieving great success, leading a wonderful, happy, fulfilling life of peace, happiness, and success, always understanding their purpose and meaning in life. So these are the 3 levels of a framework that I am trying to develop, and I need input from you all. If you can then think how we are going to integrate this into Islamic psychology, that will be a good start, inshallah. Thank you.